from your play
if you're
testing.
working on the deck or if you're working on the play.
And we see a turn 1 land from Kurt. One more in hand yet. Turn 2 land from Carl. He's got a man leak in hand.
I know I always like to show my opponents if they want to see, but I don't like to see. I don't want to see from my opponent. I want to train myself to...
Visionary.
So he
Scour
lets the Visionary
response.
resolve.
Card in the yard, don't know. Draws another man leak. That's 2 man leaks. That's both of his man leaks.
Yeah, that is a tough grip for Kurt. And that would be a tough grip for Kurt if Carl had, I mean, if Kurt had, 7 cards, let alone 3.
Carl Dillahay, 3 mana. 2 of them's a Snapcaster plus Ponder, perhaps? And a Ponder. Thank you very much for getting those cards on the screen. We got a Phantasmal Image, Island, and I don't know. Ponder number 2.
So that's a keep, right?
That looks like a good one.
You keep the Ponder in the image and Thought Scour is Snapcaster, image the Snapcaster and scour away the land.
Depending on the rest of his hand, that sounds like a really good play. Looks like Carl seemingly agrees. And the last card looks like it was a Delver.
I mean, this is a very robust hand by Carl.
And Kurt, land go. Leaving the Visionary there because it's possible that a Restoration Angel will do some help with it. Also,
Plus,
Visionary can kill the
He doesn't race.
Snapcaster.
Right.
Yeah, it's a bad race. Does he block? Nope, takes it. Genesis Wave there in hand. Talran tapping out.
This is going to make this game not a particularly...
Ooh, Green Suns for 3.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Give me a shot, boss. I know you got 2 man leaks in hand, but actually I don't know that. Uh-oh. I can see Kurt here thinking to himself, what are the chances the guy even has 1 man leak? If you're just joining us, this is the final match of the Standard Tournament. Star City Games Live.
Yeah, and this one's a Rizzy. This is a wrap. Those 2 mana leaks are going to be backbreaking.
Oh yeah.
Kurt Crane, the talk of the day, the Elf Wave combo deck on the mold of 3.
I think Carl Dillahay here is the bane to Kurt Crane's comic book Batman.
Does that mean he's going to break his back?
It does.
And leave him alive long enough to... Wait, no. No, we're,
Pay no attention to the...
Unlike some popular Magic commentators, we are not ones to spoil you at home who don't realize that Bane is actually secretly the Joker. But
shh. And we have a Ponder making a Drake. And Carl leaves that on top, gets some stuff.
So what do you think about Talran? Is he going to continue to be hot stuff 3 months from now?
I think he is. I think he's going to be a... I don't want to know if I want to exactly say this, but he's going to be reminiscent of Quirion Dryad back in the day. Not Quirion Dryad today, but Quirion Dryad back in the day.
Back when it was on vinyl?
Exactly. And we see a Genesis Wave and a land from Kurt Crane. Thought Scour, look at this. +2/+2 for every one of those spells rather than +1/+1.
So how long do you figure Crane has?
2 turns. Genesis Wave. First of the mana leaks. Another Drake. It was a goodly try there, Kurt.
And unfortunately for Kurt, Carl's sitting on another mana leak.
Caw-caw. I don't know if that's the noise that Drakes make, but
I think it's more like...
that works too. All in.
I know the last time that I wrestled a Drake with my bare hands, that was the sound it made for a moment.
Before you snapped its neck. Boom! Jaja.
All right, Kurt packs it up, and they go to game 2. And what are we going to see out of the sideboard from Kurt?
Okay, well, before we even
I'm
get
going to take
there,
a look at that. Will you?
yeah, before we even get there,
show
I've
these
got to
guys
remind everybody about the amazing prize that's available. Now, normally at the finals, we give away a full free year of Star City Games Premium, but running up until Gen Con only in a few weeks, 2 weeks, I think, and some change, we are instead giving away a 4-day pass to Gen Con. Now, this is an amazing experience. I've been to Gen Con a number of times. Have you been to Gen Con much?
I think 12 times. I don't know, something like that.
So, like a lot. And this is a lot of gamers all in one place. If you're a Magic player, this is an awesome weekend, or week, really. And if you're more than a Magic player, if you like board games, role-playing games, any of that stuff, this is called the best 4 days in gaming for a reason. And you can get a pass into this event that gets you in for free, courtesy of Star City Games. All you have to do is answer our trivia question, hashtag SCG Premium. You see it right here. And the way that it works,
you got it at SCG Live.
You've got to make sure that you answer the trivia question correctly, and then have that hashtag. One lucky person will be selected to get the prize. Please, though, if you cannot go to Gen Con August 16th to 19th, if you cannot go to Gen Con, don't enter into this contest and steal away the fun from that person that would have otherwise won it.
And dream crushing in trivia?
Yeah, this is a trivia fun contest. And I apologize for a moment. We're going to take a quick little moment while we wait for Ricky to stop talking, because I'm not sure if you can hear me over Ricky Hayashi, but it's hard to do.
I certainly can't.
Okay, so Carl Dillahay here is in the finals playing a nearly mono blue Delver deck. What archetype of deck did he beat in the quarterfinals last night in order to advance into day 2 here to wrap things up this morning? First seed Carl Dillahay is playing a nearly mono blue Delver deck. His opponent in that first round, what deck was it that he defeated in order to make it to this morning's tournament? And hashtag SCG Premium. We're going to go, here we are, Carl Dillahay on the left. It's strange. I feel like I heard some sort of whispery noise that was telling the world what was happening, but I don't know for sure.
I didn't hear anything.
Kurt Crane on the right here, in a certain way living on borrowed time. And Carl actually very fortunate in many ways here. I think that the opponent he might have played, if it had been Alexander Neufeld, that would have been the nightmare matchup in this top 8 for Carl.
Yeah, a semi-mirror, but with enough spot removal to deal with the Talrans, plus a bigger endgame, would have been rough. But sometimes a little randomness can definitely mix it up.
I mean, I've definitely looked at, I'm not sure if you've ever done this, Patrick, but I know that one of the things I've done is gone through a post-mortem on top 8s and been like, oh man, if only blah, 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 blah. This would have been so lucky for me, so great for me, blah, blah, blah. You might not be that kind of person. I am the kind of person that will look at a top 8 and rehash it in my head. If only I had been the 6th seed, you know. I would be unsurprised if you don't do the same things, but I know I do.
Dude, I've been a big fan of torturing myself ever since losing to Yuri in the finals of 2007.
Well,
replaying that one over and over again, what I could have done different.
Yeah.
So I'm with you, man.
Carl Dillahay here, certainly bringing in gut shots, probably bringing in negate, potentially bringing in Phantasmal Image as an anti-Thalia card, and I would say bringing in Dismember. Yeah, did we say Dissipate yet? Yeah.
Yeah. He's got a lot of nice options.
And Kurt Crane, we have seen that Kurt is a fan of Thalia against these decks. I expect he'll just bring in Thalia, and who knows if he brings in anything else besides the Thalia.
Yeah, I don't... Is it possible he brings in Gavoni Township?
It's possible, certainly.
Many things are possible. I don't know. What do you think about Mortar Pod?
I don't know that Mortar Pod is his path here, though it is nice to get rid of a Delver. Carl Dillahay's deck does not have very many actual threats in this match. He does not have the Restoration Angels, and yes, he can board them in, but he is running at the bare minimum of
Probably
white sources. I don't think he will.
Yeah, I think if you don't have Restoration Angel main deck, this isn't the match for it. It's not bad still, but I mean, you can only have so many expensive cards, and Talrand is great here.
Yeah, as it is, then it's possible that Mortar Pod might have some value with so few creatures that Carl actually has that are scary.
It's only really good on the play, but it's possible that it's a reasonable weapon against Delver. It may just be that something like Crushing Vines is better, and it may just be that Racing is the best.
Every time that you take out a card to answer, you become less of a deck with questions.
And it seems like he wants to be as fast and as questioning as possible.
If you're just joining us, I'm Adrian Sullivan with Patrick Chapin. We are here in the final match of the Standard Open here this morning.
In Buffalo,
New York.
Dude, that's one of my favorite sentences. Buffalo, 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 Buffalo.
Right?
Absolutely.
There's so few left these days that just saying the word is like breathing some...
No, that's a sentence. That's actually, that's grammatically correct. You can actually, it's actually true about them too.
Buffalo. I get it, actually. Okay.
It's true.
So you're saying proper noun,
Wait, for instance,
noun, verb, other noun?
I don't know if you ever saw Busta Rhymes do that music video with the Rams where they ram each other.
Right.
Buffalo, actually Buffalo.
Right.
And Ram.
Yeah.
Buffalo. And Buffalo are from Buffalo. And
so
often we'll be buffaloing other Buffalo.
So it's proper noun, noun, verb, noun?
Welcome to the Grammar Channel.
Just making sure we got all this right. Carl Dillahay here on the left, probably one of the most accomplished players in the room here that was playing earlier. We had Jerry Thompson, Brad Nelson, Matt Costa, Reed Duke, and numerous others who were amongst the top of our field here in terms of expected performance. And many of these players were just below the top 8 cutoff. Kurt Crane, talk of the tournament, and his deck really making a splash, I think, that's going to last in the standard metagame.
You ever just picture those guys as like a boy band? Like Reed Duke, Jerry Thompson, Brad Nelson, Gerard Fabiano, like lined up, like straight up, like bye, you know?
Interesting. I was picturing them more as like a kind of a retro pop rock band.
Who's their fifth? Is it? I mean, Beasley's not here, is he? Is this like Reed Duke, Gerard Fabiano?
Okay. Reed Duke
Brad
has
Nelson,
to be
Jerry Thompson.
Has to play a guitar and sing. That's I think Reed Duke is the front man, honestly.
Yeah. And the teen heartthrob.
Yeah. I think Jerry Thompson's the drummer.
I can see. He kind of reminds me of Animal.
Yeah.
From the Muppets.
Yeah. Then we got Brad Nelson, upright bass.
I like it.
Okay.
All right, so leading off, Kurt Crane drops the Arbor Elf off the Razorverse thicket. As always, likes to do it without a forest to start with,
and there's the forest.
There's
Hey, attack.
Carl has the Delver on turn 1.
Look at that aggressive attack. Do you want to take this Delver? Come on, let's go. Oh, Plummet in hand.
That seems like, why not just play out all your guys?
You
don't know that it's going to flip.
I really like doing things where I develop my board, like casting Elvish Visionary.
That was a little... I think that he was just so sure the Delver was going to flip that he wanted to just
he was like
prevent 3 damage.
He was so sure that Carl Dillahay was going to natural flip the Delver that he hung on for it. I don't like that one, Kurt. I'm sorry.
It's been a long weekend. I think at least Kurt's got a good mix of cards here. It can be a heck of a thing trying to play with just a few hours of sleep.
I mean, I would love to see a Bird of Paradise in play right now instead of that untapped mana.
Visionary.
Either or.
Both?
Yeah.
Don't attack for one.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't have to attack for one. He can do both. You're right. And If you didn't do it before, now that the ponder happened, are you going to do it now? Visionary.
And the problem is that now Carl's actually got the mana to Mana Leak.
And there we go. After it flips, let's kill that guy. Okay, you got him.
Carl allows it.
Mental misstep is revealed by Carl Dillahay. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle with the ponder.
It's going to have to shuffle every time.
The fresh card is a land? Yes, it is.
So Carl gets his second color. Don't let him fool you into thinking he's mono blue. Probably is mono blue this game.
Attack for 2. Beats.
Yeah, all these aggressive attacks. Birds of Paradise draws the mental misstep.
It'd be cool if that bird was already in play.
Carl thought scours himself. He's looking for a creature to put on the table. Give him a little board position.
Yeah, if that bird was already in play, Kurt would have 6 mana right now.
Carl ships the turn. What's next on the to-do list?
Thalia.
Thalia.
It's like, what if you got the angel? You probably don't have the angel. Takes 2. The Thalia is actually very powerful against Carl. Carl's deck is much more built with spells, so this is a more potent play against Carl than against a lot of players.
Absolutely.
Delver.
So Kurt definitely ahead on the table, but still a very quiet game. Could go either way.
Soul of the Harvest. Just throw it out there, see if Carl has one of his 2 mana leaks or 1 dissipate.
Does he actually have a soul? Is it a green Sun Zenith?
I think I see both of those cards. Green Sun Zenith for 3 draws a negate. In for 4. No Bird of Paradise again. I could save
Does
it
he
for
not
the Soul
know
of the
that
Harvest.
Thalia doesn't affect Bird of Paradise.
I think he knows.
Just saving it.
Saving it for Soul of the Harvest. And we see a flip here. I don't know what the card is. What is it? Gut Shot.
Huh.
Another land. In for 3. Gut Shot in hand for Carl Dillahay. One other card.
You think we're gonna see a gut shot on Thalia, or on the Arbor Elf?
I think Carl is still contemplating here with this one.
He's gonna want to go. All right. I was gonna say it might just have to be Thalia just to prevent some damage.
Pre-combat Visionary. See if there's anything else to do.
When we see how much he taps for the Visionary, we'll know the truth.
2. Does that work? Does that work? Forest. So it's a Genesis Wave and Bird of Paradise in hand. Thinking about the attack here. trying to decide what he wants to do with this Bird of Paradise. Goes in for 1. Lays a bird. Does not want a Restoration Angel to ruin his day. Carl holds on to the gut shot.
Carl Dillahay with his wizard deck. 3 cards in hand, 6 mana, and a Delver. Flipped, putting a little pressure on Kurt. However, Carl's life total is low. He's facing down 2 Visionaries, a Thalia, and an Arbor Elf. And Kurt just did not attack last turn.
Yeah,
I think he's just respecting the Restoration Angel?
It looks like it. Perhaps too much. And Carl now passes back.
Although I think not attacking the Delver here is a sign of weakness, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, but he doesn't want to run into a Delver? Or into an Angel?
Into an Angel of his own.
Feels like you're supposed to just play the Llanowar Elf and
wow.
Get ready for the big Genesis phase.
Visionary attacks.
He's testing the waters.
Why would you do that, is Carl thinking?
I have a Delver on defense. Are you insane? What could you be up to? Is he threatening Mortarpod? But Mortarpod would finish off the Delver anyway.
Block?
Carl's like,
Carl's
okay,
like,
I guess I call.
Okay, you got anything? He's like, I'm thinking about what you could have. I don't think you have anything. Yeah. I'm just having fun over here.
All right, well, that's one less Visionary clog up the table. Now we've got a Llanowar Elf to replace
And
it.
pass and say go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. So Kurt is 1 mana away from a Genesis Wave for 6. Or he can just kill his Thalia somehow.
Carl passes back. That's a green Sun Zenith. Are we going to see a green Suns for 4? As in 3 because of the Thalia? Will he remember to get the extra mana? I think he forgot. And 1 for the Thalia. Speak now, or forever hold your peace. Negates.
So Snapcaster the negate. Green Sun Zenith did what it was supposed to do, though. Successfully drew out the counterspell.
In with Thalia. Man, it'd be nice to have a Visionary right now, just as another body. Here comes Thalia.
Kurt overtly saying, I want to trade my Thalia for your Delver. Carl not having it.
Ponder from Carl.
Oh, you're talking about the best card in the format. That's weird.
Is it Ponder or is it Snapcaster?
I mean, only one of them's been
Ooh.
banned and restricted.
Talrand. Gut shot your Thalia.
The other one is merely the best creature of all time.
In comes a Drake. Ponder. Another Drake. And Kurt's like, oh, we're in it now, buddy.
All right. Backs against the wall. This is where I actually feel something. That's the thing I respect about Kurt. He doesn't even enjoy it unless he feels something. You know, he wants to, like, he doesn't even feel anything unless he's about to die.
Shuffle. You know, the way you're talking about it, I'm actually picturing Kurt in the 50s in a car, another car next to him, racing towards the cliff. The kerchief is dropped. They both hit the gas pedal. Boom. Let's see if this is going to end in a James Dean-like finish. And the card draw for Carl Dillahay, was there another? Does not look like another spell he can cast. Okay. And we're going to see a Genesis Wave for something. And he drew a Green Sun Zenith as well. Oh, boy. He goes Genesis Wave for 6. It's a good number.
Soul of the Harvest? Oh, no, it's Genesis Wave for 6.
Genesis Wave.
Wow. That's the big one.
Oh, Behemoth. Oh, devastation.
That is a tough one.
Boom. Restoration Angel in there.
So what's he gonna
Bell
blink?
Ringer, Visionary. Is he going to
blink
draw
a
2
Visionary?
cards?
Does he blink the Visionary here and draw 2 cards plus untap his mana?
Yep.
3 of his mana anyway?
Which means he can Green Suns for 3 for Azuri.
Oh, yeah, for Azuri, sure.
Okay.
Alright, we just received word that a judge has stopped the match. It's not clear why, but wouldn't be a Sunday morning if there wasn't some kind of hubbub and hullabaloo.
Wow, that Crater Hoof Behemoth going to the yard there takes a lot of steam out of Kurt's engine here. What do we got? What do we got, Judge?
You have to walk away from the table, Carl. No, I don't want to. You got to.
He's like,
Alright, okay.
I just got to make sure where all my cards are, so you don't take any of them. I mean, that's fair. I mean, you never know. So, what we were talking about before, we were coming up with the rock band for the event. So, Reed Duke, lead
rock
guitar
band?
and vocals.
Rock band. Pop band.
Pop
Boy
rock.
band.
Pop
Yes.
rock.
Reed Duke? No, not even, there's no rock. This is like, rock music is like what kids today call country. That is rock music. I'm serious. You know this.
Okay, so Reed Duke, vocals
Yeah.
and lead guitar. Brad Nelson, upright bass.
I'm not even sure Reed Duke's on a guitar. I
Yeah?
just kind of see him up there like, baby, baby, baby. Ooh. You know what I mean?
Jerry Thompson on drums.
You know?
Oh man, and
Or
you know I can actually
Def
see
Leppard style?
I can see Gerard Fabiano here on lead guitar.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but who's gonna be that 5th member? This is a 5-piece band.
Absolutely.
Huh?
I could see. So we got Brad Nelson on bass.
Yep.
Who is their 5th? Is it
Hard
Ricky
question.
on the keyboard?
Oh, or wait.
Dun, dun, dun,
I don't know.
Dun, 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 dun,
Could
dun,
be.
dun.
Could be. I don't know though.
Or it could be the actual musician rapper Bill Bowden who's in attendance.
Is he here?
Yeah, somewhere.
Oh,
I don't know where.
man.
I haven't seen him yet.
We need to.
We might still be another 15 minutes early, but he'll be here by the time Jerry wakes up.
I was thinking maybe we could have, instead of keyboards, somebody on like. I could see Ricky on tambourine instead.
I think Will Ferrell might be here in case we need somebody on the cowbell.
Well, you know, yes, it's possible. We had a lot of famous people in attendance yesterday. Michael Jackson, Dan Brown, Joe Wilson. I can't remember who else was here, but a lot of famous players here in the New York area, or at least famous people. Okay, so we're still waiting word on what is happening out there. What is happening out there in the universe? Otherwise, Cedric Phillips.
Yeah!
Good job, Cedric Phillips. If you don't already know, you can go wish Cedric Phillips a congratulations for his
Are you
win.
talking about
with the
pro
PT
Magic player, Cedric
Pro
Phillips?
Magic player, top 8 competitor, now back on the Pro Tour. He took Bant Pod all the way to the finals and then won.
Is it correct that Cedric Phillips is actually the 2nd highest finishing Kithkin player of all time behind John Finkel?
Wait a second. Wasn't there another Kithkin player who has done well?
Oh, Luis Scott Vargas.
Wait.
Luis Scott Vargas played Knight of Meadowgrain, and Finkel won a draft one with Kithkin in the.
Were there no Kithkin in any of Reitzel's decks?
He had Figure of Destiny. All right, so Cedric Phillips, the 5th highest finishing Kithkin player in top 8 history.
It's true.
among constructed matches. No. Cedric Phillips actually, it's been awesome actually following along too. He was off doing sports stuff and like sports writing and whatnot. Decided he loved the game too much, wanted to make a comeback, and has been chronicling it for people, talking about, this is my goal, this is what I'm going to do to accomplish my goal. He's been playing in the PTQs. I think this is like is it his 5th or his 6th PTQ?
Something like that.
And he's had a number of close calls, but just had difficulty breaking through. And it's a tough grind these days.
Yeah.
But last night, late into the night, Cedric Phillips pulled it off.
Yep.
It was awesome following along too.
Seattle's Cedric Phillips.
Yes, he's going to be at Pro Tour Seattle.
Now, was he
very good man.
Was he an Ohio player or an Indiana player back before he moved out there?
Yes.
Both?
One. I think he was Indiana.
Okay.
But he's definitely from that region. Either Indiana or Ohio. I know he spent some time in both, but I think it was Indiana. It's always tough to tell who lives with Tim Ayton and who's merely in his vicinity.
I know that Cedric is one of the people that, having gone on a road trip with, great Magic road trip companion. Good times.
Hilarious.
You and I have had some Magic road trips. One nice epic one a million years ago that was really fun. It was about 12, 13 years ago. There are a couple of people when it comes to Magic, it's okay to be in a car with them for a really long period of time. Now, one of my favorites, though, Brian Kowal. If you annoy Brian Kowal as a famous Milwaukeean within Milwaukee fame, not elsewhere, you can be elbowed in the face during the car ride.
While you're driving?
Brian was driving, and
okay.
The passenger kept on doing the in between the heads, like, hey guys, stop it. Boom. There we go.
Brian Kowal does not give a muck dweller. Like, he will literally just
elbow you in the face. Now, this only happened once as far as I know, and to be fair, all parties concerned were pretty sure that it was a deserved elbow to the face, so.
Yeah, because, if there's one thing I've learned about violence towards kids, it's that when Brian Kowal does it, they probably deserved it.
Hey, this guy was in his 20s. Oh, man. Right here, we've got Carl Dillahay back on the left, Kurt Crane on the right. It's Elves versus, you said Wizards? Let's go with it. Elves and Wizards.
What was the final verdict here from the stopped match?
We'll find out when we find out.
Carl has received a warning for marked cards, apparently. And it looks like he's either had to change his sleeves or at least change one sleeve, and his deck is being randomized as we speak.
Yeah. Now,
Carl, very visibly nonplussed by the entire situation.
Well, one of the things to remember is that if there was a suspicion that Carl was doing something really perhaps shady, this would not be a warning. This would be something far more serious. And so most likely what happened is he had old sleeves, and the judges determined that the sleeves were in too bad of a shape to really continue being played with. And if you're like me and you're kind of cheap when it comes to sleeves and you don't really like re-sleeving.
How can you not like re-sleeving?
It's a pain.
But there are few joys in this life, like a crispy set of new Black Legions. Like when you got like a new set on, so that it's just every card is so smooth. All right, it looks like are we going to the next game? Is that it?
Wow. Hang on one second. Finding out what the result of the game is, I mean...
From the look on Kurt's face, he doesn't look like a guy who has won the match.
No.
I mean, Carl doesn't look like a guy who has won the match. Like, it seems like... Are they going to game 3? Carl received a game loss. Is that from Mark's sleeves? Wild. So...
okay, kids.
Warped foil plus Delver back was able to see through sleeves. So Carl playing with the actual Delvers in sleeves that are not opaque. Plus,
well, not opaque enough.
They're fetching some checklist cards now, but also, from the sound of it, we once again witnessed the perils of playing with foils. Are Carl's only foils Delver of Secrets? They are not. Okay. we were receiving word that Carl did have warped foils, but he did not have only Delver of Secrets as foils.
Right. Now,
Either way, though, if you play with sleeves that are not completely opaque and the judge can see your Delver of Secrets through it,
yeah, I mean,
your deck is marked and it's your fault.
One of the things that I do is I never play foils unless I can help it. And then if I do play foils, I make sure that I've got more than one card type that is foiled so that it can't possibly be used as a means to accidentally mark the deck. And the reason that foils might be problematic is that foils can warp, and they can warp fairly easily.
And the biggest problem with them is that they're inherently marked. But shh! Keep liking foils. They're really good. No, it's unfortunate, but at least we're going into Game 3, and that isn't deciding the match.
Yeah, I mean...
But tell you what, Kirk Crane, what a wild roller coaster ride. Yesterday, the talk of the tournament. Today, 2 matches in a row. Down a game, facing lethal. And the miraculous happened.
I mean, I know that Kurt is actually from Ohio, but could he be part Canadian?
Why you keep talking about Canadian?
Well, because of the miracle of the Canadian win. With,
You're talking about
Alex.
the Pro Tour?
Yeah, absolutely.
Alex Hayne. That's,
yeah, absolutely.
As a result of Alex Hayne winning the Pro Tour, you now believe that Canadian is synonymous with lucky?
No, with miracle. Not lucky, with miracle.
Kurt's he even looks like he could be Irish. He actually looks like he could be Irish.
I think I heard him say A earlier.
So we're going into Game 3. Carl Dillahay.
Elves v Wizards.
Goes to his sideboard. Representing Jupiter Games. Jupiter Games, we've been seeing more and more out of those guys lately. Like, I believe it's a game store that has a relatively strong local player base that's been, like a number of other stores and, I guess, localized areas of gameplay, all propping each other up, you know? You know, Carl, one of the old school members, where are they actually physically located? Do you happen to know?
Off the top of my head?
I've been seeing more and more of them lately, particularly on the East Coast.
In New York, wherever, I'm not sure where Vestal, New York is, but apparently that's where they're at.
All right.
Unless you're talking about the Japanese video game company.
I'm not. These games like this, I just picture Carl going turn 1 Delver, turn 2 Delver, Delver, attack, attack, drop his deck, walk off.
Yeah, so on the right, Kirk Crane with Elfwave certainly has had a lot of breaks go his way when it comes to, I'll say things that are outside of the scope of the game. Carl Dillahay here, the trophy right in front of him, wanting to grasp it and actually walk off with that trophy. Now this player, Carl, is from Florida, moved up here in the last couple of years, and I believe he told me that he has since moved away again, but still is here occasionally, and thought he'd hit up this first event here in New York.
Okay, where does he live now?
That's what I can't quite remember. He did tell me.
Or you don't want to tell the stalkers.
That's it. I would tell you all, but yeah.
So as we go into Game 3, this is the deciding game, the final match. of the first SCG Open here in New York. Carl Dillahay leads off with a
Delver.
Delver Secrets checklist
If
card.
there's anybody in the room willing to trade a Tough Duck Scrabber, please report to the main stage. Thank you.
Arbor
Tough Duck
Elf.
Scrabber.
So Kurt Crane coming out with the mana acceleration. No white mana yet though.
Natural flip. Boom.
Delver Secret, is that a mental misstep too? I believe
In.
it was. Carl Dillahay coming out aggressive. Daddy's angry.
Thalia.
Daddy's been drinking. You wouldn't like Daddy when he's angry.
And attack for 1. Not a race Kurt can win. He does have a land to be able to go to Restoration
If he
Angel.
plays one more land.
Ponder.
I guess it's not even a race then, right? Like it's just about the trump. Right.
He's got the Behemoth in hand. The fireball, if you will.
Yeah, the Behemoth is like, it's so much more powerful than those sort of effects usually are, you know?
It is a you're dead almost every time.
The Behemoth is one of the best. I mean, it's up there. It's one of the better 8-drops of all time. It's definitely in the same class as cards like Terrastodon.
And are we going to see a pass here while he hangs out with the Restoration Angel? Pass, Kurt, pass.
Green Sun for 3. He's gonna go for it. Elvish Archdruid. It's gonna stick.
Thought Scour.
Carl Thought Scours himself in response. It's another Delver. Carl wishing he had done the Thought Scour earlier then. But I guess he wouldn't have been representing Mana Leak. So there's the Archdruid. Giving him access to 6 mana next turn.
6 mana and potentially free 1 mana elves if he has any. And the Green Sun Zenith shuffled back in. Wait a second, I see Josh Cho out there. Josh Cho has to be in our band.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Rhythm guitar, Josh Cho.
I mean, like this is like the 20. Dude, this is 2012. You
Hey,
need to
man.
have somebody on the keyboard.
I'm kind of viewing these guys
Or
as
the turntables.
I was kind of viewing these guys as like a kind of a 2012 The Strokes.
See, I was picturing more like In Sync.
How about we go the Beatles, more like that, or the Monkees?
Absolutely. Or actually, how about like In Sync?
Okay, Kurt Crane now facing 4 mana. This means Snapcaster Leak is a reality again. Six mana access for Kurt Crane. A lot of options here as he tries to build up towards a Crater Hoof Behemoth. He does have the Mortar Pod that we were talking about earlier. Looks like he has boarded in. This Arbor Elf that he's casting is virtually free by virtue of the Elvish Archdruid. Mental Misstep. Not free anymore.
And this is the misstep he knew he had.
And he says go.
Problem with this too, though, is that, I mean, why not attack with the Elvish Archdruid there? Not the Archdruid, the Arbor Elf. Like, you still got 4 mana. The extra mana isn't doing anything, and at least you can get 2 damage in.
And we have access to a potential from the clouds. An angel. Slaps down an insect. 1, 2. 3, 4. Angel. No.
Snapcaster Leak.
But tapping him out.
Yep, this means it could be a potentially very exciting turn for Kurt next turn.
8 life. Kurt is almost dead here.
It's got 3 turns total. This and then 2 more. He's got to produce something.
Is that a second Archdruid?
Looks like a Craterhoof Behemoth, a Mortar Pod. Is this another Archdruid? It is an Archdruid.
Yes. One mana floating. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Hey, Gabe. Plink. Plink.
So Kurt trades his Germ and his Arbor Elf to take the pressure off himself.
That's 3 less mana for Kurt,
If there's
but
anybody willing
no
to
pressure,
trade in
essentially.
Street breaks, please come to the main stage, please. If anybody has any street breaks, please come to the main stage.
And we see an attack here. This is a moment where he's saying, I might have a gut shot. And it looks like I see one anyway. I might have a dismember. What do you think about that? I'll take 2, says Kurt.
Haro with the show of strength and pays off with the extra damage.
And Talrand.
Dude, I would have snap called there. Not even calculate the probabilities. Who wants to know what the right play was? So is this game over this turn? No, it doesn't, because the Archdruids will be tapped.
Okay.
This is a real good spot for Kurt. I mean, every time your Archdruids live, it's potentially very, very, very powerful.
The Behemoth, he can cast it, but it's not for very much. And the trample only happens once. All of Kurt's creatures are 3/3s currently. And he goes Behemoth.
Let me take a little gander at this one, he says.
9.
Make sure that I understand this. Like, let me see. You're saying I'm taking 9 damage? I would take 9 damage, but what are you up to that you would be willing to settle for just dealing 9 to me with the Behemoth? Now, of course, Kurt will have 3/3/3 elves on his side of the table, plus that Mortar Pod.
Plus the 5/5 still afterwards.
And the 5/5 doesn't trample, right? Like, it's just haste. It's only trample that one turn. But it means that Carl needs to start making some drakes in a hurry just to not die to the attack, right?
Okay.
Oh, wow. Does he not realize? Oh, no, I don't think he realizes that the Behemoth, oh no, he did it on the end step.
Yeah,
Okay,
he did it
sure.
just to do damage.
Sure. It means if he gets a removal spell, he just wins here.
Ponder.
Wow, great play. Because he's got six power worth of attackers. If he can find any removal spell for that Llanowar Elf, a single Llanowar Elf is standing in his way. Very, very aggressive attack by Kurt. Another Ponder and another Drake?
That's not it.
He's gonna shuffle.
Now remember, Craterhoof does not have trample on its own. It grants trample the turn it comes into play to everybody, but that's the only time that comes into play. However,
is down to the wire.
However,
Who wins on board?
if Kurt draws a creature,
Kurt
Kurt wins next turn. Just off of mana and Mortar Pod.
He's got 4 in play already.
The Mortar Pod would be 5 damage. Thought Scour here. Okay. Only one of these drakes can attack right now.
But if he just... Huh. Is he just attacking the air for 2? Is that what we're going to see?
Wow.
Oh, wait, there's more. Augur of Bolas.
A Augur. Card that's too dark to see, card that's too dark to see, and Gut Shot.
Gut Shot is something.
In.
Wow.
Block.
Amazing.
Die. Oh,
And that's the match.
Carl.
Carl Dillahay, by a hair, the champion of SCG New York.
Wow.
What an exciting match. Defeating Kurt Crane, the Elf Wave combo deck.
The pumping the fists. Fake high five.
A great showing from both of these players. Very, very cool.
Dig, 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 dig. Found it.
Wow. An exciting sequence.
Wow.
Good stuff.
That was good stuff.
Good stuff.
That was really good stuff.
It's been an exciting top 8.
Man. Wow. For those of you who are just joining us, I'm Adrian Sullivan with
Patrick Javen, what's up?
And it's been a good weekend of Magic so far. We just saw Carl Dillahay win, taking it down. 354
Ponder,
people,
Augur?
all down to all that ponder, Augur.